We are back with one of the foremost experts on the Constitution in the nation, Laurence Tribe, constitutional law professor at Harvard. He's argued dozens of cases before the Supreme Court, and his most recent book, fittingly, is To End a Presidency, The Power of Impeachment. Good evening, and thanks for being on this special, sir.
Thank you for inviting me, Ari.
I have many questions for you. I just shared some with the audience. But beginning big picture as you join us, having read your book on impeachment, it talks very carefully about what an extreme and rare remedy this is, how it should not be entered into lightly, and it should not be conflated with any negativity or even revulsion at the president, his person, his policies. With all that in mind, before we get into the details I mentioned earlier, what do you want people to know about this process as it plays out?
Well, I think people should understand that Congress proceeded with great caution. Nancy Pelosi did not authorize an impeachment inquiry until it became very clear that the president was using the power of his office for personal purposes and political purposes. He was taking hundreds of millions of dollars voted by Congress and withholding them from the Ukraine in an act of sheer extortion and soliciting what amounted to a bribe because he wanted Ukraine's help against Joe Biden for 2020 and help in clearing him of colluding with Russia in 2016. People, I think, should understand that when those things happen, the purposes of the impeachment power, as defined originally by people like Hamilton and Madison, kick in a big way, because we have a president who is abusing the power of his office, committing bribery, which is one of the explicit impeachable offenses, and essentially betraying his oath and the country. One of the ways he's doing that is by essentially saying nobody can control me, nobody can investigate me, not the Manhattan DA, not the courts, not the special prosecutor or special counsel, and now not even Congress. Now, Nixon, it's important to know, was told by the Supreme Court, as you say, Ari, and unanimously, that he had to turn over the tapes. But there were other subpoenas that he had his administration defy and papers he didn't turn over. And that became Article 3 of the Articles of Impeachment. The Judiciary Committee didn't wait to have more court battles. It had enough. And that's, I think, what Adam Schiff is recognizing now. He's got enough. The Congress now knows that the president has committed impeachable offenses. And Adam Schiff, a very brilliant former student of mine, clearly has decided not to play rope-a-dope and let the courts drag matters out.
You mentioned those past precedents. We'll put them up because it's very important as we dig into this. Andrew Johnson did face articles on defying Congress. Much of that fight was about what they viewed as him flouting the Tenure of Office Act. Nixon, as you mentioned, defying congressional subpoenas. There never was a vote because he left office. In the Clinton case, very different underlying facts, but lying to Congress was both put forward by the House Judiciary Committee, but ultimately not what won the day in the House floor vote. You were saying that you think the facts here do support and there should be an article of impeachment for this type of obstruction?
I think that's right, because no prior president, not Nixon, not Clinton, not Andrew Johnson, no prior president has ever essentially said that the other branch of government, the one that's put in place to check the president, has no authority over me. He's called the impeachment a lynching, a phony proceeding. He's basically said nobody can investigate him. That, it seems to me, when it's manifested not just in words, but in orders to his subordinates, some of whom, as patriots, have defied the president, that amounts to laying down the gauntlet and saying, essentially, I am king. Nobody can control me. I am above the law. And if acting in that way does not constitute a reason for removing a president, then nothing does.
Wow.
And saying we can just wait till the next election when what the president is doing is manipulating the next election is an impossible position. If we want to preserve our democracy, we must remove this president.
Yeah, that seems to be a key line that's come up and that has started to get a little more widespread understanding. My final question to you then is about what we were discussing in the previous segment. Is there any reason for Congress to take anything else, in your view, to court, even if it doesn't require any outcome in time for the House floor impeachment vote? Are there good reasons to do that, or at this point, as you've said, just move forward?
I think at this point, moving forward with impeachment is the priority. There are other things that are ancillary that don't have to delay impeachment, like the Ways and Means Committee's effort to get his tax returns. That should remain in court, but the impeachment process should go ahead with all deliberate speed without waiting for any further judicial rulings about anybody.
Professor Laurence Tribe, so great to have some time with you on our special. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ari.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.